Well, here in my messy office here, my temporary office right now, out at the new Napa store, the old Ford dealership. Thought I would jump in and chat a little bit if anybody wants to jump online. We'll see if anybody jumps in here at what time is it? About 6 o'clock, 6:04. 6:04 on a Thursday afternoon. Trying to see if we keep some interest. I don't know if I can or not. A lot of people are probably eating their dinner if they're on the East Coast. Midwest and the West Coast may be doing some other things. I've got a couple in there. I should have sat down and grabbed me a drink first. Doggone it! Should have grabbed me a drink. I'm gonna get thirsty right quick. Well, I'll live. But anyway, I've had a rough week, hard week, steady week. Been working hard here at the Napa store, the new Napa store, doing some remodeling or doing the remodel. We're putting in the insulation. We put new racks in this week, and we have we're trying to get some things going. Of course, this week I'm like I said, like the title says, I'm living the FedEx dream. Dream being driving. It's not really the dream, I guess, as much as it could be the nightmare because I'm having to fill in. Of course, some people are saying I need to oil this chair out here. I hear it now. Now, I had somebody chatted the other day, and I guess I was wiggling around. They said, you need to oil that chair. And I probably should. It's an old wore out shop chair. But yeah, been a tough week this week. I've had to work some vacations. I had some drivers off, and when I run out of all my spare drivers, I'm the spare. When it gets down to me, I have to run some. We're manipulating and moving a lot of things around. We're trying to get new numbers for the expansion we're doing in Savannah, along with at the same time we've sold runs in Greensboro, North Carolina. So we've expanded and we have sold at the same time. And when you do that, it creates a little bit of havoc with the paperwork and everything that they make you transition with. FedEx makes you. I didn't sell the trucks. I kept all of my trucks. I just sold the routes. But once I did that, I'm having to have those trucks renumbered because those numbers are associated with the routes that I sold. So the numbers and the routes go together, so to speak. But I was able to retain the equipment. But in FedEx's eyes, I have to take those units and renumber them as if they were new units that I bought. So I've got to go back through all the paperwork and everything. I guess there's a method to their madness. I guess they do that. They've got they got to make sure that the transition is smooth on the run. And I can understand their logic behind that because all the points values, and we get points for having our trucks available and a few things like that. Hey, Scott. What's up? Oh, for Amazon? No. Amazon is different. Amazon, if you've noticed the Amazon right now is letting the final leg of it. A lot of that's going to the post office. They're going to send it out the final way. I mean, they still send a lot to FedEx. They still send a lot to UPS. But Amazon is trying to kind of do their own thing with that eventually. I don't know how many people are going to sign up for it. It's I don't know if you've seen it where they're wanting people to be their own entrepreneurs and have their own vans, have the small vans, just like a you know, just a regular, not a step van, but just a regular van that it'll be labeled with Amazon's Prime on it and everything else. They're trying to do that. And I guess what they're doing right now with the post office, I mean, the post office has always got a good bit. And, you know, there's several, I mean, to give you, for instance, when we deliver up from Spartanburg area up to, say, the Charlotte area, and we take trailer loads up there, every night when we come in, there's probably, I would say, a good 15 or 20 of these trucks that they're you know, like 20-foot box trucks. They go out to all the different post offices and everything, and they'll people like Courier Express and a few others. And Courier Express I'm using them as an example because they also do the final leg from FedEx to the post office. See, now what we have, we also use the post office too on some of these packages on our final leg, and we've got a whole division with FedEx. It's called Smart Post, FedEx Smart Post, and I actually have some routes with that, and ran one last night, as a matter of fact. What I did, I ran from Concord, North Carolina, down to Lumberton, North Carolina, and at Lumberton, North Carolina, they've got an independent courier down there called Courier Express is one of them. And then Courier Express has contracts with the post office, and they'll deliver to all the postal. They deliver to the postal places. Now, Courier Express, of course, they pick up mail and everything from other locations too. I mean, when I was down there last night, there was not a Schneider. What was it? Warner Freight was down there, and there was another one too. But there were 2 or 3 of us being unloaded about 3 o'clock this morning. And then they unload that, and then they have the small trucks that will they load that their different areas to them, and then they deliver to the post office. See, the Postal Service has a lot of independent, well, not say independent, well, let's say, well, I guess it would be independent, but, you know, common carriers that deliver to them. If you never, it's sort of amazing when people, if you were to get out at night and see all the trucks running up and down the road, and you kind of see the network of things happening, you would understand how the economy on those kind of things happen a lot. Because, like I said, we deliver to the post office. Amazon delivers to the post office. I think UPS even delivers to the post office. The post office, for a lot of these small packages, you know, something that's an envelope size and even a small box size, anything to get in your mailbox, usually the post office will deliver those on a general basis. But you know, if it gets larger than that, then it's more profitable with, you know, FedEx, UPS, and those kind of situations. And Amazon, in my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion, you know, working through the system and seeing how they're doing things, in my opinion, what Amazon seems to want to be able to do is to cut out people like Courier Express and doing it here on Sunday. Oh yeah, they're doing it all over on Sunday. They run Amazon. We run on Sunday. We run 7 days a week for Amazon. Amazon does not stop now, and they're trying to get bigger on it. But their package vans that they've got, I don't know if you've seen it. You can go online and see about their new package van. But I'm not really sold on the idea of the way they're trying to structure it. Yeah, I do. We run my FedEx trucks run 7 days a week too. We try to. The majority of them don't, but I've got trucks that run Sunday also. It's a business that it's only going to get bigger, and because of the fact the way everybody wants next day packages, and you know, everybody with and everybody's trying to compete with Amazon's model, like Walmart and even Home Depot, and a lot of them are giving free shipping for a certain level, and just doing their own business model. I keep looking this way. My wife's supposed to be coming over here and pick me up so we can go eat supper here in a little bit. But that's the way that it's going. But the trucking business is evolving, and I see a lot of different avenues that it's going down, and it's being very competitive. That's the one thing that's good for all the consumers. I mean, it's competitive. I mean, who would have thought years ago that you would be able to get all this freight free? I mean, they come up with a business model that, you say, I think it's $120 a year now, I think, with Prime. I use it a lot myself. And what he's done, he's gotten smart he's got all these other entities involved too. And he says, if you buy Amazon Prime, you get the free freight. You also get free movies. You get music, just a lot of different things that you get through Amazon. And that I guess you call it value added. It's a value added product. And it's scary too, because they're getting very large. I look for the government, especially since Trump has he is not too favorable with Amazon. Consider, of course, his are deeply rooted because of a couple things. Because he doesn't like the Washington Wall Street Journal. No, not Wall Street Journal. Washington Post. Which one is it? The Washington paper. I can't think which one it is, but Bezos owns it also, so he owns that part of the press that kind of trashes Trump and everything else. So Trump's in his ways is trashing him back, and I would imagine that he's legitimately looking into how large that Amazon is getting. I mean, when you think about how much Amazon has taken over in the corporate world, I mean, they're scary. I mean, used to be years ago, it was laughable because it was just this little bookseller, and is he going to make it? And now it's the bookseller that's more or less taken over the world in some ways, in my opinion. He's really, we used to be scared of Walmart, and we need to be more scared of Amazon than Walmart. And I work for them. I mean, I'm a contractor for them, but I'm taking their money like everybody else. So it's a scary proposition. Now they seem to want to throw, sort of like throwing mud on the wall. They're going to keep throwing it out there till something sticks, and then what sticks they keep, and what doesn't stick they kind of brush it to the side. And that's a lot of what I think Amazon does at this point. I mean, they've got a lot of money to put out there and be able to experiment, whereas the average person or the average business can't. So, I would imagine he has as many failures as he does successes on everything. I mean, that's like that far-fetched thing about the drone. I mean, we all poo-poo it and everything else, and I still poo-poo it. I don't think it's yeah. Well, I mean, and you're gonna see this. You're gonna see that the government's gonna. I don't know if. I think the next step is the government's gonna. They're gonna look at them as a monopoly. I know the way they get out of it, I would imagine, is because they're not a monopoly. I mean, you got Walmart, and you've got them, and you've got other online traders also. But they have killed a lot of businesses because of their power. And when you look at it, you have to really be a savvy consumer, because their prices are not always the best. The prices that they have are competitive, and sometimes they are the best. But you have to kind of, I mean, if you look at it, you'll see all these traders, and that's the other thing. What you've got now, you've got a lot of people that had a mediocre type business that is actually selling on Amazon. You just sold your first ex FedEx truck. Okay. What was it? A box van or something like that, JC? Or what? Or was it a package van? One of the old package vans? I know. Step van. Okay, yeah. I had a Cummins. No, it had that international Cummins engine in it. Those ones that sound like they're doing about 90 miles an hour. I started in one of those 32 years ago. And it was a thing with International and Ford went together to design that particular step van for them, and they came up with that. I think it's a Cummins type engine that originally, and they when they got those, like, gosh, I mean, those RPMs, they were turning up to 3,500 RPMs for a diesel, and that's a lot. 3,000 RPMs, those boys were whining the crap out of them. And I don't know if this one that you got is like that, or, of course, there's a variety of ones, but the ones that they initially wanted us to start with years ago were like that. And because the look of them are still the same. I think those are Grumman's. Okay. Grumman Olson trucks. Okay. Yeah. Now now does it have the 5-speed, the international diesel with the 5 speeds? Is that what it is, JC? Yeah, that's generally what it is and everything. Well, the missus has made it here. She's going to want to go eat supper right now in just a little bit. Yeah, the 7.3 with a 5-speed. Yeah, now it's almost exactly like a 7.3 in a Ford, isn't it, JC? I mean, I know the ones we had, and boy, like I said, I had one, and first time I drove it, I go, hey, that's new in there, Heston Carmick. Okay, hey, glad to meet you there, Heston. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you jumped in here. My wife is coming in. Mrs. Mike is or Barbara. She's getting ready to come in. She's wanting me to take her to supper in just a little bit. But yeah, what size box was that one that you got, JC? Was it a like a 18-foot 7.3? It's an international engine as the F series. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's supposedly a pretty good engine, I thought. I know they got a variety of engines and everything in them now. I haven't kept up with those package vans. 24-foot box. Okay. How many of those did you buy? Did you buy several of them? And those things, I know those boys, I didn't have much. Oh, you bought 4 of them. Wow. So you did pretty good then if you got 4 of those. Probably had, what, 200,000 on them, 300,000 on them, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how much they're turning them over up there now. I know I put about 60,000. What you looking at, Barb? Oh, okay. Come here. You don't want to get in front of it. Okay. Oh, you're actually at Jay Young's shop right now. Okay, tell Jay Young hi then. Okay, you got 160 to 185,000 on them. Okay. You want to go eat barbecue? My wife is here now. I'm over here, and she's giving me the look. She's saying, I'm not going to get on camera. I'm not going to say anything. She's right here beside me, JC. JC's. You say hey to JC.
Hey, JC.
You heard her probably. but yeah, she's wanting to stop and go get barbecue. But we're discussing all the FedEx stuff and everything today. Can I talk a few more minutes? You gonna let me talk a few more minutes? She's gonna give me permission to stay online just a little bit. That's right. That's right, JC. She gave me the look like I'm hungry. We're gonna go eat. You're gonna stop what you're doing and that sort of stuff. But yeah, she said she'd give me a few more minutes to chat. But I was chatting about this week we've been busy. I've had to work some routes and everything. Had to run one of my Smart Post routes last night. It's FedEx, but it runs from FedEx and FedEx got a Smart Post division. We were talking about that and other things. Well, I tell you what, guys, before I get beat up too much, I'm going to take a break. I've enjoyed this little short chat this afternoon, but I had to live with her. I just chat with y'all. So I'm going to get off. Talk to you later. I'm going to try to have a good chat on Sunday morning again. So Sunday morning, tune in if you can. And she'll let me talk a little bit longer there. But now I'm invading her time with going to get something for supper. All right, so see you guys. All right.